Hey there, Gemini. Good afternoon, and welcome to your March Tarot Reading. Gemini, it's great to connect with you. Today is Wednesday, March the 1st, so it's my hope that this tarot reading finds you in beautiful divine timing. Whether your sun sign is Gemini or your moon or rising sign is Gemini, some of you may be here checking up on a Gemini in your life. Others of you may just be intuitively guided to be here, right? It was just a feeling that said, click on this link, check this channel out. So either way, I'm excited to have you here. If this is your first time here, welcome to Love and Abundance Tarot. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. All right, Gemini, I'm going to use my Crystal Vision Tarot set. Ooh, there we go. Bottom of the deck, the Unknown card. And then I'm going to use my Magical Times spell cards for your affirmation. Let's just give this deck one more shuffle. So what am I thinking about today? Something that's been on my mind recently. In the evenings, I like to lose myself, watching movies or watching series, watching comedy, sitcoms. And what I've noticed is how much violence we have out there. Almost everything you click on has some form of violence involved in it. It's always about hurting people, or catching the bad guy. So I don't know. It's coming into my awareness. I'm very aware, right, of just the violence in TV. And I'm not a violent person by any means, but if I'm watching those movies, am I contributing to that? It's something for me to think about. So yeah, I try to avoid the violent stuff, but inevitably, a lot of things that I watch, they have violence in them. So anyways, I think the first step is just becoming aware of it, right? And I think maybe I'm speaking your language. Maybe you're aware of some of what I'm talking about because maybe you've noticed all the violence that's in television as well. All right, Gemini, let's find out what's going on in Gemini's energy in the month of March. Tell us about Gemini's energy in the month of March, please. Gemini energy in March. Ooh, we start off with the Three of Swords. Very limiting energy right here. Notice the figure on the card. She's holding her heart, right? And she has three swords impaled in it. It's representing the energy of, something could have been a split up, right? Could have been losing a job. Could have been a conversation that just went sour, right? But I feel like, well, what the energy is telling us is, Gemini, you felt this energy right here. And we're going to pull some clarification on that energy that's going to give us a chance to dig a little bit deeper. In fact, let's just start on that right now. Tell us about Three of Swords for Gemini. Three of Swords for Gemini. Ooh. Coming in next, we have the Two of Cups. So soulmate energies right here. It could be love, romantic love. Gemini, you may have just recently, some of you may have recently went through a split up regarding disconnection in your life. But let's clarify this Two of Cups. Tell us more about the Two of Cups for Gemini. Two of Cups for Gemini, please. And look, at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be a split up, right? It could just be a fight. It could be a conversation, right? But Gemini, I feel like you felt it. Right? Maybe some harsh things were said. Tell us more about the Two of Cups for Gemini. Okay, so coming in attached to the Two of Cups, you have the Moon energy, right? And so Pisces just showed up for us, for those of you that may be connected to a Pisces. So what it's talking about, right? The Moon energy represents, things that are unknown to us in life, right? It's like being out in the dark. So you're out at night and you don't have any lighting, so you have to feel your way around and really trust your intuitive, primitive kind of instincts. So we have something being somewhat in the dark regarding this connection, this relationship right here. And then attached to the Moon card, we have the Four of Swords. So notice, Gemini, this is important, right? Your first energy was these three swords right here, right, impaled in her heart. You felt it. You felt all of it. But notice those 3 swords are right here to her side, right? She's resting from the 3 of swords. So you're being encouraged, right, to take a break. And notice she's holding 1 sword in her hand, right? Ace of Swords. So I'm taking a time out to just quietly reflect and to let go of some of this pain that you've been feeling right here in order to embrace a new understanding with the Ace of Swords. Wow, fantastic. All right, let's pull another energy for Gemini. Tell us more about Gemini's energy in the month of March. Coming in next, we have the 8 of Swords, right? So, representing the energy of fear. Some of you, notice she's surrounded by these swords, right? So some of you may be in the energy where I feel like I'm a little bit trapped in the situation. And notice she's also wearing a blindfold. So maybe I'm a little fearful of maybe some of these things that I'm unable to see or things that I'm unable to really truly understand. But attached to the 8 of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups, which is representing a new beginning. Right? So maybe this is why you're being encouraged, right, to embrace the 4 of Swords energy. Just step away from the pain. Step away from the heartbreak for a little bit. Let's clarify the Ace of Cups. Tell us more about the Ace of Cups for Gemini. So attached to the Ace of Cups, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Sagittarius energy just showed up. So this represents the energy of changes, right? So we could be talking about the dynamic of this relationship right here. Maybe it was a fight, but you're in this energy of fear of possibly changes that are connected to this relationship and how those changes may impact, right? Starting over, this new beginning for you. Interesting. Let's pull another energy for you, Gemini. Tell us more about Gemini's energy in March, please. First energy that comes to us is the Sun. So Leo's energy just showed up. For those of you Geminis that may be connected to a Leo, it may be a Leo on the other side of this relationship right here. Right? But the Sun, and I say that because attached to the Sun energy, you have the Page of Swords, which is representing the energy of communication, right? Whether this is you communicating to them or them reaching out, communicating to you. I mean, on a really positive note, Gemini, this is one of the most favorable energies in the deck, right? So with the Sun energy, it looks like maybe after you have the conversation, the talk, and it's a calm talk, right? You're not wound up with a lot of high emotions and anger and resentment and hurt, but letting go of those energies and allowing the Sun to come out on you. So I feel like, right, if it was a fight or an argument, could have been an argument with your boss, right, at work as well. I feel like once you experience this communication, I feel like you're going to be able to clear the air. But let's clarify this Page of Swords. Tell us more about the Page of Swords for Gemini. Page of Swords for Gemini, please. So attached to the Page of Swords, you now have the Nine of Pentacles, right? So I feel like what's going to happen is after you have this is based on the energies today, right? After you have this conversation, you make up, right? Things get better. You could talk about, creating this beginning. Communication. And then with the Nine of Pentacles attached to it, right? This is a very independent energy. So look, at the end of the day, some of you may be splitting up from this person, right? Maybe it's this communication that's going to put you in the energy where I'm independent now, right? And I know in my independence that the Sun will shine on me. There's no more fear, no worries, no concerns. Interesting. All right, Gemini, let's give this deck another shuffle. And let's build your next row here. Yeah, fascinating reading. And I like how the energies are like telling a story. And I mean the story seems to be pretty clear here. All right, tell us more about Gemini's energy in March. Here it is, it's back. You've got the Ace of Cups coming back, right? So here's your beginning, right? The beginning of something that you love, right? And for some of you, you may be reconnecting in this relationship, and for others, you may be splitting up from this relationship, and here's your beginning. If you're still together, right, it's a fresh start right here. Let's clarify this Ace of Cups. Please clarify the Ace of Cups for Gemini. Gemini, you have two fantastic energies that came out. So coming in next, attached to the Ace of Cups, you have the Four of Wands, right? Which is a commitment. This is the marriage card for some of you as well, right? So some of you may be getting proposed to. There could be an engagement here. But what we're talking about is a contract, right? A commitment between two people. And the nice thing about this commitment is attached to the Four of Wands, you have Temperance. So Sagittarius energy just showed up. This is all about divine timing. You know, and it's interesting because, look, at the end of the day, I'm middle-aged, right? So I've been through a couple marriages. I've been through several different, series of different relationships. Look, at the end of the day, relationships are tough. They really are, right? And it all comes down to communication. So I feel like if, Gemini, if you can have a good conversation with this person, right, and you're stepping in this conversation with very balanced energy, meaning I'm not wound up, I'm not agitated and emotional. It's not like I'm going to sit down and I'm going to lash out. This is about clearing things up. She has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on dry land. She's surrounded by butterflies, right? These butterflies for this beautiful new beginning. And it's all about timing, right? Timing on this contract and this commitment, right? Make sure that you're in really good energy when you have this conversation. She pours a cup of water into a cup of fire, right? It should just put the fire right out. But instead, because it's timed so beautifully, right? Divine timing, it creates this beautiful rainbow. All right, Gemini, things are looking better here. Let's move over to the next station. Tell us more about Gemini's energy in March. Judgment, right? We've got to let go of any judgments that come out. We've got to let bygones be bygones. You can't get in an argument, right? And many times in arguments, right, we get heated up, and a lot of times we say things that we don't mean, right? And maybe that's what's being brought up with this Judgment card. But let's clarify Judgment. Please clarify Judgment for Gemini. Okay, attached to Judgment. This is your, we got to get over it, Gemini. We have the Five of Cups right here. So notice she's staring down at these 3 cups that are tipped over in the water. Tipped over cups represent disappointments, right? The things that didn't get cleared up. And I kind of feel like what you're being encouraged to do, Gemini, if you want to stay in this relationship, is you got to let go of the judgments. You got to take your focus off of the things that weren't working out in the marriage or in the relationship, so that you can recognize these 2 full cups behind you. 2 of Cups. Please clarify the 5 of Cups for Gemini. In order to change your world, Gemini, you have the World card coming in next. So this is a beautiful energy, and what we're talking about is this Ace of Cups beginning, right? So you have the argument, right? Maybe voices get raised, tempers come out, things are said that really you don't mean to say, or they don't mean to say them to you. Maybe it goes back and forth. But what you're wanting to do is create this world energy where I've let go of all the fears, all the worries and the concerns. I'm no longer focused on the disappointments, the things that didn't work out. I'm focused on the 2 of Cups. So, yeah, I mean, this is like a transformational change for you, right? And when the World card comes out, it's letting you know, Gemini, that if you can let go of the judgments and change your perspective on things, you've got the opportunity to feel like you've changed your world, where you literally feel like you walked out of one world into another world. And I can feel how that would happen in a relationship. Because things are like so heavy, but then once you sit down, it's like apologies or go back and forth, right? The mean things that may have been said, they're taken back, right? So you can remove the personalization, and they can too. And you have the opportunity to really make a positive change in your life. Tell us more about Gemini's energy in March, please. Gemini's energy in March. You had the Page of Cups, right? So communication, communicating love. Let's clarify this Page of Cups. Please clarify the Page of Cups for Gemini. The Sun card's right back. So Leo energy wanted to come up again. Some of you, I feel like, are connected to a Leo. Some of you may be connected to a Sagittarius as well. But yeah, I'm picking up on quite a bit of fire here. So letting go the fears, the worries, and the concerns, because we're on speaking terms now, right? We're kissing and making up right here. Let's clarify the Sun card. Please clarify the Sun for Gemini. Please clarify the Sun energy for Gemini. You have the Eight of Wands coming in attached to the Sun. So no fear, no worries, no concerns. This is like your opportunity. This is like walking out, like being stuck in winter like I am here, right? 20-something degrees outside. And like the next day spring hits and you walk outside and it's 75, 80 degrees and you can feel the warmth of the sun on you. No fear, no worries, no concerns. This is the energy that's available to you, and it has the Eight of Wands attached to it. So it's talking about, right, if we can shift the energies, right, and we can communicate with love, with patience, with understanding, with forgiveness. Here comes the Sun, and it comes in quickly. So, wow, Gemini, fantastic. I love your tarot reading here. Let's pull an affirmation card for you. Please help us pull an affirmation card for Gemini for March, please. Help us pull an affirmation card for Gemini in March. Help us pull an affirmation card for Gemini in March. Gemini, you got two affirmations that came to you. So the first energy that comes to you is prosperity. And this energy says, as this tree grows so strong, so fine, so may I prosper from the universal divine. As this tree grows so strong, so fine, so may I prosper from the universal divine. So we're talking about like the prosperity in the relationship. And then coming in attached to prosperity, we have dream sweet, sleep deep. And I feel like, especially with that sword energy that came out for you, Gemini, if you're anything like me, right, I have a difficult time getting out of my head. And Gemini, my sun sign is Aquarius, so I'm in my head a lot. You're an air sign as well, so I feel like many of you are in your head a lot too. And when we get in our heads, a lot of times it can impact our sleep. So Gemini, if you haven't been sleeping well, we're sending you beautiful wishes to be able to sleep well. This energy says, sleep that's deep and lasts till morn, wondrous dreams for days reborn. Sleep that's deep and lasts till morn, wondrous dreams for days reborn. Sleep that's deep and lasts till morn, wondrous dreams for days reborn. All right, Gemini, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the love and the support that you guys provide me on this channel. It makes a huge difference in my life. Right? A few of you have made donations to the channel. And really, when you're making a donation, you're donating towards my energy, right? My energy and the energy that I bring you. Honestly, Gemini, whether this tarot reading resonates with you or not, my goal, if you're on this channel, is when you click in, from the time you start the reading to the time you finish the reading, I want to entertain you. More than that, I want to inform you, But more than that, I want to raise your vibration. I want to bring you more joy, more happiness. So hopefully my energy brings that to you. All right, Gemini, thank you so much. If any of you are interested in requesting a personal tarot reading, send me an email. My email is found in the description box just below this tarot reading. I'd love to hear from you and schedule a time to work on your personal tarot reading. Okay, Gemini, thank you again for all the love and support. Be sure to give me a like and a subscribe. Have a fantastic day, Gemini. Thanks again.